Hello, Scott here. Hope you're well. So here we are, happy Friday. We had some good moves yesterday, actually. Some of the things we looked at yesterday, some of them played out very nicely. Hope you caught some of those. Today is NFP day, Friday. So expect low liquidity, I guess you'd say, and I would not want to be in the markets around the NFP release, usually 2 hours before. The liquidity dries up and the market starts just going random, which we don't want to see. We want to see structure, right? So be aware of that. Okay, so there's a few things today. Let's get into the charts and see what we've got. Okay, I'll just stop my video. Right, get out of the way. Oh, what have I clicked? Nothing. Okay, so the first one on my list is Aussie Kiwi. On the high time frames here, you see it's very overextended. You don't even need to look at the RSI, we can see that. It's a massive run up, but we'll just confirm it. There we go, it's been overbought for a while. But doesn't mean you won't get more overbought. So what do we have today? Well, look at this candle formation here. We've got, let's call it tweezer bottom. Right, the low test followed by a low test. In the daily 20, daily 50 zone. So that is a very strong indication we're going to get a bullish day today. So I like that. Let's go look at the the lower time frames and zoom into the 1 hour. So most of it is for me. As you know, I like to put my 4 hour 50 on here as the blue line. The red one's obviously the 1 hour 50, the most important indicator on this chart. And I also have on here the daily 50 and daily 20. Daily 50 is this very faint red line, and so daily 20 is a faint red line, and daily 50 is the faint green line. So I can see most of the important information on this chart when we're looking for setups, certainly. Right, so we had a tweezer bottom. That'd be this one here and this one here on the hourly. So we're looking for a long trade. Right, what do we have? We have a break and a retest. Now the fibs don't line up very nicely. Unfortunately, we go from the low to the high of this run. The 382 pullback is here, which is actually just tagged it. Just tagged it. So that could be all we get. The daily pivots here as well. We're early in the Australia session. It's 10 AM here in Brisbane. So the Asia session is kicking off about now. And looks like we're getting some bullish action already. So if you do miss this one because of the time of day you're at, then we can always look at getting into the CBO, which is when we break the 4 hour 50. So with the break of the 4 hour 50, we could either do the fib up here, which is a bit high. Maybe what will happen is we get a fib setting up from these lows here, which is a bit low. It's not ideal. We've got to see what happens with the price action, and hopefully we're looking for, if you already missed this one, which you probably will have by the time this video gets published, then we're looking for the CBO, take it up to highs. If it is this tight, then that's a bit close to me, but that's potentially what it could be. So we look at the price action, maybe later today, maybe Monday morning. We'll see how that one goes. Next one. Whoops, let's do this watch list first. CAD Swiss. Next one, higher time frame. What do we have? We have a really bullish run price action here on this day, earlier this week. Then it's been slightly retracing, but it's decelerating. So is there more downside to come? Or is it going to turn around and go long? Well, of course, we don't know. But let's have a look at the lower time frames and see what they give us. So we can see it's kind of decelerating. You could even say there is a wedge pattern forming here. maybe like something like this, which is bullish. So there's two things that can happen here. Either this could be the end, let's go back to the daily. Either this could be the end of the down run here, and this could be a wave 1 up, wave 2 pull back, and then a wave 3 long, or the run may continue down. Looking for this wedge pattern that we've got it's looking like it's going down, going up, sorry. But if it were to go down, I want to see it do a good pull away from this 4-hour 50 down to lows. We've got a few different places we can put the fib, so it's not that clear cut what we have. If we use the lows we've already got, that lines up perfectly. But that to me is not a very nice break and retest. We've got the 4-hour, and we see that break and retest was one candle, which is not great at all. So that break and retest is not very good for CBO. Want to see a big long break and retest? Maybe this will be it now. Pulling back and going short. Or maybe we're just going to go long. So keep an eye on the price action. You are going to go short. If you're convinced this is going down to the lows, then you can play it down to the lows here. And that'll be a good run down, a good profit from that one. Or you'd wait for it to break up above the 1-hour and 4-hour, and then break up, go upwards, and that would give you a trade in a long trade, basically in here. So where's the daily 50? Look at that. So that would be your what am I doing here? Get my fibs right, that makes a big difference. So we go to fibs from the lows to the highs. That could be your fib. So the price action will do something like that over the next rest of today, maybe Monday, and then trade that long. So if it does give a break up above this, that would be an indication that this wedge is indeed a deceleration pattern and it's a reversal, and we are now going to go long. So a bit of a mixed bag on that one. It's not that clear. So the daily 50 is way above us, okay, which is why we can't see it on this chart. It's up here. So we can take that high to these highs or even higher. So something to watch out for, keep an eye on that one. We do have some nice setups though, if you bear with me. CAD Yen. So we've had this run down. It looks like it's a wave 1. Hard to know. After this very overextended run, and we have MACD from all the way from here. MACD divergence. We've got higher highs, and we're getting lower highs and lower highs on the MACD. That's the MACD divergence. Although it has burnt off a lot of the overboughtness by the RSI showing it's gone below the halfway line. And that is actually indicating that this is now a downtrend because it's gone below the halfway line and it's got to test it again, the halfway line, and then it's going down. So that indicates that this could be going to turn to a downtrend. One thing about indicators is they give you a bit of confidence, but you can't rely on them solely. Well, not one indicator. Add quite a few indicators together and you might get an indication, an idea of where the market's going to go. So what do we have here on the hourly chart? We have a lower high, these highs and then this high. We have a lower low, this low, this low, this low. That's looking nice. Confirmed trend change. The daily 50 is now behind the price action. So if you did get a pullback to the pivot, ideally to the 382, now this fib, again, we've got a few options here. We could even take the fib from this run here. This is the run that breaks the 4-hour 50. And if that's the case, then that lines up better with the 1 hour 50. So if we did get a pullback to the 1 hour 50, the stop behind the 618, this green line, and the 4 hour 50 is about 9.5 fib. So that's protecting us as well from our stop. So you want as much as possible protecting our stop. I've even got the daily 50 in there as well. So that's nice. So a lot of good things here, aiming for a good trade short. So we need, of course, negative price action to pull back to 382, give us an entry, trade it down to what's the lows. That would be a fair target. Back to the daily. If this is a wave 1 short, wave 2 pullback, and this wave 3 will go a lot lower. There are fib extension, starting from the top to the bottom, to the top of the pullback, the start of the wave 3. And in theory, we could be aiming down here. This wave 3 could go down to 1.272 fib extension, which is the typical price target, which lines up quite well with these lows here. Now, that would be a monster trade if you got on that one and it worked out. I suggest you don't be greedy. Yes, you can play those. If you want to play those sort of things and those sort of trades, then that would be for a swing trader. Swing trader may have entered on this candle here yesterday. There's a stop behind here, and then playing the long game down here. And that can take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to play out. You need some patience. Not my kind of game, but a lot of people do that. If you've got a full-time job and you don't have time to spend analysing the charts and lots of time, playing with the charts and getting better at these lower time frames, then swing trading can be a great way to trade and to get some profits. So we're looking for a pullback there. CAD yen, that's a good one. I like that one. One of my favourites. Euro yen. Okay, Euro yen, we've had a pullback to this level here. It's a very strong resistance level. 1, 2, 3, kind of breakthrough there. 4, 5 touches. It's held, and slight room down to the daily 20 if we get an entry. So what do we have here? We have this trend line, which was broken last night. That's good. I like to have trend lines and I like to see them broken. So that's in our favour. We've got a lower high, this high to this high. We've got a lower low, this low to this low. Lows are getting lower, highs are getting lower. That's a downtrend. We like that. Now, we've already hit the 4 hour 50. So if we get a pullback, let's get out of the way a little bit. We're going to pull back to the 1 hour 50. You could in fact use that fib, put the fib there if you wanted to. So now to give you an entry up here. That lines up perfectly with the pivot. See the daily pivot here? It lines up perfectly. And the stop would also line up with the pivot. This is the R1, which lines up perfectly with the 0.75 fib. So that's probably what a lot of traders will have on their targets. And if you play it down to daily 20, you can see 3% in there. That'd be a nice trade. You can even push it a little bit further if you wanted to. So be aware, we've already hit the 4 hour 50. We're going to trade through it. Hang on, that's not right, is it? I'm getting my tool trade position tool completely wrong there. There we go, that's better. So that's 1.5% down to the daily 20 and a bit further to the daily 50 if you want to push it a bit further. So we're trading through the 4 hour 50. We'll get a perfect pullback there in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. Pull back to 382, the pivot line. That could be a very nice looking trade too. Of course, currency correlation. We've got 2 there, CAD yen and Euro yen. Which one do you like most? Okay, good question to ask myself. Which one do I like most? Okay, well, CPOs tend to be more reliable because we've got to break out of the 4 hour 50 as well. This is on CAD yen. And there's really, once you're in the trade, there's nothing really stopping it until these lows. Now, it's Friday. It'd be nice to get positions closed before the close of business on Friday, before the market's closed for the weekend, in case we get gaps in the market on Monday morning, and also prevent the carry costs of the trade. It costs money as well. So quick in and out is always good. This one has a nice clean path. We can do it, stop a bit tighter, 1.4% to these lows. That'd be a nice, clean, quick trade. Euro yen. Also, just to clarify, something I was thinking but I didn't say. Elliott wave, that's probably a double top. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 pullback, and this is wave 5. So we don't want to push it much past these lows anyway. We could do a fib extension on it. So with a wave 5, we'll do 0.618, all the lows. So it did pull back to, say, here somewhere. And a 618, you could push it down to here. 618 here. Obviously, when the pullback happens, we'll know exactly where to put this from. This goes to the top of the pullback. So it pulls back, say, to here, and then goes down. We will put a fib extension back to that point there, those highs. And then the 618 will line up to there. Yeah, that'd be a nice safe. That's actually 2%. That works out quite nicely. Over Euro yen. Euro yen looks nice. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. So it's going to be wave 5 as well. Very similar kind of thing to the last one. But we have the 4-hour 50. So I actually prefer CAD yen. Okay, Euro USD. Actually, just want to point something else out. Just crossed my mind. Is it this one? No, is it Euro yen? Okay, no. Right, moving on. Euro USD. Euro USD. High time frames, we've had this pullback, really strong trend line, and the 1-hour 50 is right behind it as well. Bearish day yesterday. So we're looking for another bearish day today. Yesterday, this is one of those that played out perfectly. If you put an entry in here, I thought the price action wasn't very nice. If you'd entered on the 382 or the 1-hour 50, you'd stop up here somewhere. It wouldn't have stopped you out. It played out beautifully, and either the 4-hour 50 to make about 1%, I think, or you could still be in the trade and trading down and be probably up 1.5%, 2% in profit by now. Looking for another pullback. Again, we've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 down, wave 4 pullback, and this will be a wave 5. So quickly we can do a fib extension. Oops, it didn't work. Do a fib extension, see what kind of price targets we're looking at. That run pulls back to just past the pivot. 618 lines up about here. It's pretty good. So it lines up with where I had it, about there. 1.8%. Entry around the pivot of the 382, the 4-hour 50 is here as well. So this is a CBO. We've had a break of the 4-hour 50, which is looking good. And the 1-hour 50 will come down to meet it, maybe about 5 or 6 hours, which will be around the UK open time. And that'll be a nice quick Friday evening trade. Or Friday evening for me, Friday morning for you maybe. So that's a nice one as well, like that one. Okay, Kiwi Swiss, what do we have here? This one's interesting. We've had a big run up, beginning of the week, pullback, indecision day yesterday, slightly bullish, but not yesterday, the day before. And then yesterday was a high test into the daily 2050 zone and a very bearish looking candle. So I'd suggest that today's going to go down. Bit of indecision, but it looks like We've tested that zone, we're going to go down today. Looking here, it's pretty ugly, isn't it? So we've tested the daily 20. Once we did that, there's a very bearish few candles in there. Pull back to the hourly 50 and the 4 hour 50, but not a decent break of the 4 hour 50. But maybe we're going to get that now. Maybe we'll get that today. So probably not my favourite, but it does. We've got a nice break here, nice gap. Looking at the 4 hour. So we've got a nice gap here. If and when it pulls back, there will be a nice gap for a perfect looking CBO. You could say we've already had the CBO, so it's a bit discretionary. But it's not one of my most favourite setups, but it's definitely on. And the stop can go behind the 618 because we've got the 4 hour 50 here as well. Entry here. Just a little bit. Price movements, and yeah, that could be a little trade short. Elliott wave. It's a bit of a mess. 1, 2, 3. Not really. Elliott wave, I don't really know. Can't really see anything there. Maybe down to lows. We'll get you 1.4%. Remember, we're only looking for 5% profit per month. You don't need big profits every day or every week. 5% a month is just over 1% a day, a week, which is one of these a week is all you need. To make 5% a month with a prop firm and a nice large account, you can make in a very nice income. You could say this is wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, but I'll be careful about that one. Yeah, so it's a bit messy, but if you're an aggressive trader, you might want to jump on that one. Kiwi yen. Right, similar, but a really nice high test yesterday. Almost touched the daily 50 and very bearish after that. So that's a nice looking downtrend to me. Onto the hourly. That's a good wave 1. This is much cleaner than the last one we looked at. Good wave 1. This is a wave 2 pullback and a wave 3 short. Look at the daily. Wave 1. Wave 2 pullback, wave 3 short. So could be a long way to go to the downside. But again, it's Friday. NFP. Don't take any risks. Now I'm going to play it down to this S1 level here. See the pivot, daily pivot? Where is it? Yeah, it's underneath this slot. So daily pivot lines up perfectly. Your 382 lines up really nicely with the 4 hour 50. 1 hour 50 slightly in front of it by the time it pulls back. But if you do get a pullback, takes us up here and it just wicks through the 1 hour 50. It could be a nice quick run down to take profit down here. What's that? That's 2%. That's still a very nice looking trade. So that for me is a nice, so that looks a little bit messy. Once you see that what it was doing was playing with the daily 20 and then a big high test yesterday, that is a good indication that we're going short today. So that's another nice looking trade. So there's a few yens in there. Kiwi yen, KGM was my other favourite. A few other trades. Okay, so we've got a quick look at other ones which are not set up at the moment, but maybe soon. Maybe later today or maybe Monday. Okay, so what have we got? Euro pound. Massive high test, big pullback, and a bounce off the daily 50. It's still going up. It still appears to be going up. Let's do a quick 382. See how far it could pull back. If this was just a bounce, there's still plenty of room up to here. So looks like a long day to me. Day or Monday. A bit kind of messy. We've had this really long downtrend, very strong, broken quite convincingly, retested down here. Broken, retested. Now we've broken 1 hour 50. Not the best of price action. It's a bit yucky, but it's definitely an uptrend, right? We've got higher highs and higher lows. We could even say there's some kind of support. Maybe. Right, so we've had a break of the 1 hour 50. That's one we could have entered 2 days ago. And you still be in it. Hit TP up here if you trade into the 4 hour 50. Or you could still be in it trading up a lot higher. Where are the day 50s behind us? I forget where we're at. So the day 50 is behind us, day 20 is just below us. There's a day 20. Okay, so the trade for today would be a nice clean break of the 4 hour 50, waiting for the 1 hour 50 to catch up. So clean break up here, higher high, must be higher high, don't see anything like a downtrend developing. Retest 4 hour 50, and then we can take that up. And that would be over here somewhere. So we've got plenty of options with the fibs. Something to consider. When we get our high, and it's a nice clean break and start heading back for a retest, we can adjust our fib and see which one lines up best. We've got a low here, and of course a low at the bottom. Anyone where the 382 lines up nicely with the 4 hour 50 and hopefully the 1 hour 50 will be about the same place too. So that could be something to look out for, maybe later today. That might even happen in the next, what do we need? 15, 18 hours. So that could be probably late UK, US session. Pound Swiss, what do we have here? Similar thing, run up, pull back, just breaking out past the daily 20 zone there. Again, that would have been a nice entry yesterday, but I wasn't convinced because of this trend line. It wasn't necessarily spot on. You can't, it could have been there, might have already broken out, but always on the side of caution. Now it's clearly broken out. Is it going to pull back? It's already hit the 4 hour 50. So we've either got a trade, we've already had the IBO, so the break and retest. So I suggest we're now looking for a CBO. We want this to break below the 4 hour 50. It's about here somewhere, take us time coming back and then aiming short. So that could be quite a way away, but that's very small, isn't it? But and again, the fibs, we've got a few choices here. We've got the highs here, or this high here. Both would be right, could be right, depending on the price action. It did come down to about here, pull back to here. That'd be an entry around there somewhere. Stop behind the 618, which is actually where the daily pivot is. That's fine, that can help us with our protect our stop. And take it down to where? What would our price target be? Quick in and out on a Friday. Fibs are messy. So let's look at the 4 hour. Anything on the 4 hour to give us some nice fibs. 1, 2, 3. No, not really. Not looking that clean, is it? So, what would the price target be? We could say this is a wave 1. This is wave 2. This is wave 3 still happening. If it keeps pulling down, if it pulls back, that'd be wave 3 completed. If it keeps coming down there and breaks to the 4 hour 50, that'd be wave 3 in motion still. This would be wave 4, and there'd be wave 5. In which case we can use our extension tool, wave 3 from here, down to here. So we're all just supposing what might happen, who knows. But when it does start to form, you can adjust things. So that would mean the stop would go behind 618, so before the 618. As a wave 5. And that's 1.88%. That's still a nice looking trade. So that's something I might play out later. And yen. Another yen. Okay, this one, we broke through the day 20, daily 50. So is it going to adjust? So it could just bounce from here, or it could continue down. So let's see some proof. What do you got for us? Wave 1, 2, wave 3, this could be wave 4 happening now. So that does seem to be going down quite strongly. So you want proof either it's going up or it's going down. The daily 50 is this green line here. So if it were to come down here somewhere as a wave 5 and break strongly up above the daily, the 1 hour 50, the 1 hour 50, the 4 hour 50, the 1 hour 50, and the daily 50, then we can say quite confidently this is uptrend, and we will take the trade long from about here somewhere. Take that long. That's one possible. The other possibility is it keeps on doing its downtrend, wave 1, 2, which is still wave 3 probably. So again, we've got a wave 5 in there. Pull back to here, and a wave 5 down here somewhere. And the extension there. So that'll be the wave 3 when it completes, before it pulls back to the 4 hour 50. Back to here somewhere, and then we put our stop. Yeah. 2%. That could be a nice trade as well. Then on that one, pound Kiwi. This is the more fun part, I think. Trying to work out where the market's going to go. Of course, we never really know, but we just take our best guess from the information we have from the charts. So this one we have pullback and kind of dojish looking candle. That's hesitation. Is it still going to go down, or is it going to reverse? Your guess is as good as mine. On the lower time frame, we have wave 1. Strong break of this solid trend line here. Wave 2 pullback. Wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5 again. It looks like this one's already entered late last night, or again, still yesterday. 2 chances to enter there yesterday on the IBO. That's gone now. If you're in that, good. It seems to be going down quite nicely now. But that's something we talked about yesterday, I think. But the reason it's on my blue is because it's not ready to go yet, because we missed the IBO. We're now looking for CBO. All right. So fibs down to where it's going to go down to. Let's say going from these highs here. Fib, go down here. If that were to happen, pull back on the 618. There's the daily 50 perhaps. Daily 20, more conservative. Still 1.6%. And yes, so here's a fair bit of price action to work out yet, which is why it's still blue. If that goes down there, down there, and there. For the extension again. So for extension, this is our wave 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our wave 5, and that'll be the end of the move. This could just be a messy wave 1. Wave 2. This could be a wave 3. Not that clear. We'll go for the minimum profit target, I suggest, because it's Friday. You go down to there, go back to here, then S618 is about here somewhere. Just for the daily 20, probably chill at the daily 20. Yeah, that's possible. See how that one plans out. And USD, last one we'll have a quick look at. Similar again, good pullback to this strong line as we looked at it yesterday. Strong resistance line, very strong going back, and it's very bearish day yesterday. A nice IBO set up yesterday. If you got into that one, good job, because you made probably 2% plus already. And now we're looking for CBO. So what I would like to see is pull down a bit further before it pulls back. Again, we need in a CBO, we need a break and a retest of the 4-hour 50. And as you see, the 4-hour is just broken it. It's a bit minor, but it is a break. If it pulls down further, that'd be nicer. You get a nice break. If it stays the way it is and goes sideways, it could still work. Still work. So the fibs from this high here, and then pull back to 382. 1 hour 50 is catching up. Stop behind 618. Okay. Extension target again. This is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 pullback. The fib extension 618 will be around the same place, about here. And that lines up with these lows, which is good, and this line here, which is your S1 from the daily pivots. And the entry is right on the daily pivot, which is nice. So that lines up quite nicely. That really should be as a gold one, shouldn't it? Because that one is pulling back and really rock and roll. So put that into the gold list. Because we've already broken the 4-hour 50, it's just a matter of it pulling back. Maybe 4 to 6 hours when that 1 hour 50 catches up. It could be good. If you don't mind holding trades for a long time, you might even decide to push it right down here and beyond. Okay, good. That's my watch list for today. All right, let's have a look at this on video on stop share. All right, so there's a few things to look at today. Again, be conscious of the news later on. Try not to be in a trade, or I personally would never be in a trade when that news happens, because it can really rock the market a lot, whatever pair you're in. Okay, good. Good luck. Have a lovely trading day today and a fantastic weekend. I will catch up with you next week. See you on Monday. See ya.